I'm here with Alec Halter, a Wright State commit out of Dayton Christian. Alec, man, appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So I look at the PBR report on you, and it talks about consistent footwork, consistent hands, a real clean transfer, got a pop time down around the 1.87 range.
Yep.
If they're scouting you, that's what they say, but how do you kind of scout what you do behind the plate?
You know, I'm known for having great abilities behind the plate and having a strong arm, getting that quick pop time, you know, receiving well, calling a great game. But, you know, I think my hitting has came a long way because I've been working really hard on it and it's came a long way, so yeah.
What do you take more pride in, being able to call a good game and get the most out of a pitcher, or being able to do something for your team at the plate?
Definitely having a great relationship with my pitchers because, you know, I'm controlling the game back there, calling a great game, so that kind of dictates on how the game goes.
I know a lot of catchers early in the game, they just wait for that team to kind of test the arm and the base pass,
yeah.
and then, you know, the ability to shut it down and make sure they don't go back to that. Is that something that you obviously try to do early on in the game?
Oh, for sure, yeah. First throw in warm-ups, I always try to throw as hard as I can down, you know, quick pop time so they can see what they're dealing with.
Talk to me about what you're focused on for this next year. I mean, as you look towards Wright State, what are those things that you feel like you really need to shore up?
You know, like hammer in the weight room, gain a bunch of weight, you know, get ready for college ball.
I know a lot of guys, when it comes to learning a pitcher, sometimes, you know, they can pick up things on maybe what's working well for them and what's not in the bullpen. How long does that process take for you to really find out if a guy's locked in?
On my team, I take pride in really knowing my pitchers. So usually our pitchers are, you know, always the same, but not always. So I got to make sure during warm-ups when we're throwing in the bullpen and see how everything's spinning and how everything's supposed to work. So I always make sure everything's going good.
Obviously, Wright State about 20 miles from your high school, so I understand the draw from a location standpoint, but what was it about the program and the fit that you felt like this is where I need to be?
You know, I grew up going to Wright State games because it's, you know, 20 miles from my house, and you know, when I was going through the process, talking to all those schools, I was waiting for one that I could really trust the coaches and, you know, could grow a great relationship with them. And, you know, also a big factor for me would be development when I got there, see how much better I could get out when I get out of the school. So, you know, Wright State filled everything. Love Coach Metzger, love Coach Sogard. The whole coaching staff is great to me. So,
you're a junior Future Games alumni coming down here to LakePoint Sports to represent Ohio. What does that do for a player in terms of getting you out there and getting you to the point where we're talking about you heading to the Raiders?
Yeah, it was great. Never seen that many coaches at each game, so it really helped me, you know, going forward when coaches would come to my games, you know, I could be more relaxed because I had the experience.
Who do you kind of look at in terms of guys behind the plate where you try to emulate the game after? I know we talked about Sean Murphy, obviously a guy that's, you know, a Wright State product, but when you look at guys behind the plate, who do you kind of look towards?
Definitely Sean Murphy. I actually went to the Braves game last night and was watching him, and, you know, his high school is 5 minutes from my house, and so when he went to Wright State and then got drafted and, you know, was one of the best catchers in the league, definitely take pride in learning what he has to offer. I've
seen you use the one-legged setup sometimes. Yeah. Is that something that you kind of just picked up on recently, or was it, how comfortable are you with it and how often are you using it?
You know, it really helps me. I figured out it really helps me get under the ball so I can pull up and frame better. And for me, it's more comfortable, so I've been using it for a while. All
right, I love to see how guys, and we obviously talked to you a lot about you behind the plate, but I want to see what you do at the plate. So I got a shot and let you take us through your setup at the plate.
Absolutely. Yeah, so when I walk up to the box, you know, I'm looking middle away. And so I go left foot in, right foot, start with about shoulder width, and then, you know, an even stance. I don't open up much. And then I have my hands near my head and up a little bit. And then when I stride, I don't have a big leg kick. And I make sure I separate my hands from my head. And then I also make sure that my knee is not caving in. So I push my knee out and then keep my hands back and let the hips move. And then bring this elbow to my side so I can keep the hands inside the ball and just have an even finish.
Alec, man, thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. If you're not already, make sure you follow LakePoint Sports on all our social media channels. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. You'll get so much more happening here on campus.